गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। वेल, we're going to see the turmoil in Nepal, and there is a lot of turmoil in Nepal, and there's a lot of anger in Nepal, and very justifiably. Let me put this across. There are a lot of rumors. This is Gen Z. This is a color revolution. This is something which has happened in Bangladesh and Myanmar and all these places. I don't think so. I'll be very honest with you. What's happening in Nepal has its origins in China. This is people trying to reassert their lives, which are trying to be controlled ex China. Let me put the cart before the horse. The trigger for this entire turmoil in China, we'll come to each constituent a little later. The trigger for this turmoil in China is banning of those 26 social media apps, including YouTube and Facebook. When was this done? Day before. Okay, 7th. And when did KP Oli return from China? 4th. He comes back from China after that, SEO meet and all that, and he bans. There's a direct connect on what's happening and what's happening ever since KP Oli took over. This is China trying to assert complete control over Nepal and people of Nepal rebelling. Right? So, this is the fundamental fact, and let's dive into it. Let's get into this turmoil in Nepal. Yeah, as it has happened, Nepal has, Nepal has lifted the ban, the social media ban on all social media apps, all 26 of them, after 19 people have been killed. These 19 people is the biggest number in the past 25 years, or even in its entire history. I don't remember. Why I said 25 years? 25 years, I'm very clear. So many didn't happen during the anti-monarchy riots and protests in 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in that time. They didn't happen. It's only happened now. And these protests are not only in Kathmandu, they are all over the country. We'll trace why this has happened, and you'll then understand what I'm trying to say, what my opening statement. Okay, this is someone called Sunny. He says it's shameful to see international media framing Nepal's Gen Z protest as merely against the social media ban. This came out yesterday. That's not what it's all about. This was some guy I just picked up at random. The protest was and still is against the corrupt system, unchecked government privileges, years of exploitation. Reducing it to just the ban is dishonest and insulting to the movement. This is the frustration of people coming on the streets. And we'll see why. And let me also put it up front. Part of this is the choices which Nepal has made, the people of Nepal have made. You can't blame it on anyone when the people themselves have chosen their political system. And unfortunately, the political system and those who have been chosen through this political system have let the country down through wrong ideologies, which emanated from China. And the people are suffering, and it's out on the streets. There are many movements, but we'll talk of it. It started day before yesterday, when Nepal banned 26 social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube, got the media attention worldwide, right? Why were these banned? Because these media platforms failed to comply with new registration requirements, right? Which disrupted essential communication and it raised concern over free speech. That's a fact. It went into effect the moment Oli came back. And this started 1 week before that, and when all these social media companies were asked to comply with certain formalities. Now, the problem is, what is the effect? Press freedom and all is one thing, but tourism is the mainstay. Tourism industry is the mainstay of Nepal. That's going to kill. How people are going to communicate in mountains if they don't have these apps? And why? What is the alternative? We'll get to that also. That's the thing. Remember, nearly 10% of Nepal's population, 29 million population, live abroad. What this 7.5 discounts the people who moved out of Nepal, which are not unofficially moved out of Nepal and live in India. I think it's more than 7.5%. It might be even up to 12-13% of Nepalese live outside India. Now, the story doesn't start here. It starts in November 23. November 23, TikTok was banned because the influence in China was too much. KP Sharma Oli comes to power last year, 2024, and reinstates TikTok. Now, once TikTok is reinstated, he puts out forms and formalities which everyone has to comply with. And those forms and this thing are unique. I don't know the details, but they're unique from what I come to know, to ensure that people can't comply with it. The idea is to take all the Western media out and leave only TikTok and Viber and the Chinese media in, so that people are controlled to think communist, to think China. That is why this eruption. Why? People, I've interacted with Nepalese living in USA. In fact, when I went 2 years back to USA, I went to a store and I found a Nepali there. And that was the time when their elections was going on. And this store it's an Indian store in San Francisco, next to where we were staying. And I used to go and talk to them as we were picking vegetables and groceries and things like that. And there was this boy from Nepal, young chap, and we started talking of Nepali politics. And then he told me how many people from Nepal lived there in that area. A lot of them. I said, how do you communicate with the people? Same WhatsApp, Facebook, chit chat, not WeChat. WeChat is YouTube. These are the things. That's their lifeline. For anyone here who's staying in this part of India, I won't say this part of India, any part of India or in this area, we don't have communication through TikTok and all that. They want this. Why is Nepal cutting off this? That's the fundamental thing. Please understand. Why is this KP Sharma cutting this off to go more towards China? Because he's anti-Indian. He's anti-West. He's pro-China. That is the thing. And the people of Nepal, at least the younger people of Nepal, don't want that to happen. And it's okay, go to China, I have no problem. If that is the choice which a government makes, and that's the elected government and manipulated, elected, whatever it is, so be it. But that government has to make way for people to survive, to people to live, people to progress. That's not there. They don't know how to study. There are no places to study. There are no employment, nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing to show. He's gone cutty with the Indian government. The Chinese government doesn't give employment to people. Indian government gives employment to people, or facilitates employment to people, facilitates people coming to India and working and sending money home. I mean, if you think I don't know what I talk, well, I have whole lot of Nepalese working around my house in various places, earning their living and sending money home. They're doing a lot of hard work for themselves. When you speak to them, sir, वहां तो कुछ है ही नहीं हमारे लिए. It's not about free speech and things like that. It's not about the youth. It is a fundamental problem. And that is why this problem overnight spread to complete Nepal, all the big cities of Nepal. This is it. 23, the ban on TikTok was there. But now it has been revoked. KP Sharma came, revoked the ban, and then he brought in this new registration, and everyone had to comply. And this new registration was tailored to ensure that none of them could comply with it, except the Chinese apps. That's the problem. It'll come out. It'll come out within a matter of few days. In fact, it's already started coming out. And then they came out with this. I don't know whether it's fake or not, but in this they have shown the ISI hand happening. It could have happened. This could be fake or not, I don't know. But it came out. It shows as if it's from Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Nepal. It says there are people from ISI and all doing all this. All kinds of rumors have started. Who organized this protest? There's one group called Hami Nepal or Nepal. I found an NGO of 2015. This is being now said like this. They organize this. How they organize, we don't know. We'll see how it goes. At this point of time, whatever little I could get, I could get. And this Hami Nepal was supposed to be involved in humanitarian work, disaster relief, rescue operations, food distribution, water supplies, all that. Is this part of a larger thing? We don't know. In any case, US aid is cut off. And this organization had no previous history of political activism. Right? Then the Nepal Prime Minister, he's put out this statement today morning, or a little late. This came out early morning today. I'm deeply saddened by the tragic incident that took place during the protest called by Gen Z generation today. While we were confident that our children will peacefully voice their demands, the situation that arose due to the infiltration of the protest by various vested interests has resulted in the tragic loss of lives of citizens. The government was not in favor of stopping the use of social media and will ensure an environment for its use. There was no need to keep demonstrating for this, and the situation will not be allowed to continue. I would like to assure you that an investigation committee will be formed to investigate and analyze today's events and damage, its conditions and causes, and some report within 15 days to recommend steps to be taken to prevent such accidents in the future. This is at 8.09, 1 hour back. Okay. A little more because Nepal Standard Time is a little away from us, a little earlier than us. Now, already the Home Minister has resigned. And if you know what's happening, I don't think these protests are going to end in a hurry. That's because these have been revoked and all that. They're going to have deeper ramification. Maybe for the good of Nepal. Right? Look at this girl. She's put it out. I've taken the sound out of this because this is captioned. Because if I put the sound out, I'll get into copyright issues. So have a look at what she says through the captions. It's not about social media bans. That's what she says. It's about control that the government is trying to have over people. And the government should be accountable. Right? Yeah. And then, of course, just think, this is a place where people want to live. It's not their choice, but they have no option. And where do they live? They come to India and go abroad. Either India or this thing. No one goes to China. Understand this. There's no youth from Nepal who wants to go to China. Either they want to come into India and go to the West. In that condition, to ban Western social media is fraught with danger. And the Chinese have bribed all the top guys who are rolling in wealth. That's the next thing. A lot of social media posts about the corruption and the lifestyle of the rich. The lack of accountability she's talking of. And the young Gen Z have no future. That is this corruption. Okay? And all this is not going to immediately end the story. I mean, look, you can interpret it any way you like, but the fundamental fact is there is a basic economic weakness in this place. Okay? And people will make use of this whole story. When the society is weak and they're vulnerable, all this will start. Right? And she talks of corruption, all that. Okay. Now, let's go into their politics and understand the politics. I do see some people have come out with some opinions, but I'll take each of their opinions and discuss it. Look at the main parties. They have 4 main parties. Nepali Congress and Rashtriya Swatantra Party, RSP, the first and the last one. This one, and this one. They are center left. Okay. The Communist Party of Nepal, Unified UML, that is of KP Sharma Oli, and the Communist Party of Nepal Maoist Center, Pushpakumar Dahal, Prachanda. These are communist parties, completely communist parties. Overall, this nation is to the left. There's no capitalism in Nepal because there's nothing capitalist in Nepal. The economy is weak. There is poverty. People are not this thing. So, where can they go except to communism? And communism thrives when there's poverty and societies are weak. Look at the PMs since 2011. I'm talking of the past 15 years. How many PMs they have had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've had 11 PMs in 14 years. If that means every PM has a tenure of 1 year, 4 months, 5 months. So KP Sharma Oli has taken over in 24. Now it's 1.5 years. It's time for him to go. Most probably he'll go. I'll be surprised if he doesn't go. Because already his home minister has gone. From what little I can make out, already people are out on the streets again. This is going to have major effect. It's going to, okay. Is this a color revolution? Everyone's talking of a color revolution. This is no color revolution. This is a natural sequence of events which is happening in Nepal, which is going worse. Give you a background of Oli. Oli and gang ensured that Nepal joined BRI way back in 2017, but no projects have been realized. Last year, when Oli joined and came back to power, he went to China and signed a BRI cooperation framework so that BRI projects can be executed. Now, before BRI projects can be executed, you have to make the political condition right for that stupid project to start. And this is part of that. Because all BRI projects will only function when the politically conditions are favorable. If people have to question that BRI project, it will never function. So if you have to ensure that no one questions that thing, the voices of the people have to be subjugated. And the details of this framework have never been made clear. And there's another contradiction. Nepal wants grants. China wants to give loans. They don't want to give anything free. China can't give anything free. China wants power over Nepal without giving anything to Nepal. And this is what the view of Lin Win Mang at that point. I'm talking about 5-6 months back. Did this. They're very happy. They gloated when Oli came to power. Oli's choice to visit China first rather than India is not unexpected, but rather a reflection of the increasing policy choices of South Asian countries. For example, after coming to power, Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu also chose to visit China first instead of India, and other South Asian countries are actively developing relations with China. This reflects change in Nepal's domestic politics and policy towards China. This is what KP Sharma Oli brought in. This is the Chinese thinking against India. And I'm now hooking it up here, and I'll do that today evening. This is the China we are dealing with, who's completely has interfered in Nepal. In fact, the way I look at it, there's an opportunity for us to, mend our fences with Nepal and wean it away from China. China won't solve its, education problems in Nepal. China won't solve the, employment problems of Nepal. Please understand. This is the stated policy of Oli's party. It's open to Chinese loans because you need urgent infrastructure. We know that. And he wants to maintain political stability in Kathmandu through Beijing. Now, these same guys, this is the area called Limpudara or Kalapani area, which they're claiming. This claim was instigated by China in 2020. This is the Lupulek Pass. I spoke of it yesterday only. The Nepalese are claiming all this at the behest of China. See where China has left them. You see, Nepal and this Oli fellow trusted China. China said, you start claiming this so that we are not India doesn't get Lipulek Pass. These fellows went and claimed this entire area to the extent this part of Nepal, like this, this bit in Nepal was not there earlier. They put it in their maps and they put it in their notes also, currency notes. And now China wants to make amends with India, mend fences with India. They say that this Lipu Lake Pass is the place. Sorry, Lipu Lake Pass is the place where India-China trade will start, which means they have ditched Nepal already. They're playing double game all around, and Nepal is now crying against India and China. What can it do? Our stance was very clear. Lipu Lake Pass, by all treaties, everything was ours. Not from now, from centuries. Nepalese, all this KP Singh Oli and company, at the behest of China, started this. Now, this KP Sharma Oli has gone to China and he came back and he started this thing. So the design of China in this is very, on one hand they want to do trade with you, on the other hand they want to ensure that Nepal is under their grip. And I'll come to the next story. And please understand what I have spoken. Of course, this is at Pokhara Airport, Gautam Buddha Airport, where Nepal has, opened this airport, not a flight lands there. And this airport, even if flights start landing and traffic starts and all, for the next 50 to 100 years, Nepal can't repay back. There's no potential. Nepal is already in Chinese trap. Thanks to Mr. KP Sharma Oli. Look, why I'm talking of KP Sharma Oli is this. Have a look at this. This fellow has been in power many more times than we can think. This is the fourth coming of this fellow. And this, you forget about this Mansarovar Lake and Lipu Lake. Look at this. What is this? There is a road coming, Kodari Highway, into Kathmandu. Now they want to put a railway track. Where the railway track will come? Lumbini. And Lumbini is the birthplace of Buddha. So they are making a Buddha monastery there, Chinese. And some great park where Buddha is born. And claiming it as a Chinese religion. You see, the bigger thing we have to understand what China is up to here. So first, they are going culturally. They are invading. Economically, they are invading Nepal with loans. Ideologically, they are promoting the Communist Party and Marxist Party out there. Economically, they have got Nepal in a bear hug, and they want to get this thing down here. Will come down somewhere here. The Lumbini and all this. And then the thing is, if the railway track comes down till here, what is the repercussion? Till here, that means they are sitting on your heartland, on Gangetic plain. That is what that Victor Goff chap talks. That's what I keep telling you. Didn't I discuss this just about 3 days back? Victor Goff, what does he say? He says, in the east, it's impregnable, I cannot make headway. In the west, in Ladakh, very lot of troops, we cannot make headway. So what do? We shift our claim line to Ganges. How? Through Nepal. They've given you the plan, damn it. I see this whole story coming from China. Are we fools that we have to trade with those jokers? That's a different thing. I'll talk of it today evening. But look at this. So this, whatever is happening in Nepal, the strain is different, but the end game is the same. Same like what's happening in Bangladesh. They want to now destabilize that. Look, if Nepal remains destabilized, your heartland is going to get affected. So what do we do? That's the question. $1 million question with us is, what do we do? Of course, we have to help Nepal get back to normalcy. And this story is not over. In one day, if 20 people die, next day everything can't come back to normal. Please understand that. There's a process which is set in place. They themselves talk of a Pakistani hand. Why will Pakistan do anything there if it is not in Chinese interest? So there are layers in this, and all the layers at the bottom of the layer, you find China. So we have to start doing things. I think one of the first things which we should do is Agniveer scheme. Relook at it, get the Nepali boys back into our army. Gorkha regiments will, our traditions, everything, and linkages will restart. This is strategic in nature. If you know what he says, I agree with him that one day Nepal could be our Ukraine. I mean, in fact, in one of the earlier, presentations, I did show that there's a equivalence between Ukraine and Nepal. Let me see if I can get that, because I don't know whether I'll be able to get that or not, but let me try. Let me try if I can get that figure. Just bear with me for 1 minute. Yeah, got it. I got it. Give me 1 minute more. Yeah, this is it. I made this slide 3 years back. I want to share it with all of you. Now that someone has asked me. There's an analogous situation. What is Ukraine between Russia and USA is similarly between India and China, Nepal or Ukraine. This is a battleground on which you cannot stop. You cannot afford to be disengaged. It has got different dynamics. But this is it. Our policy towards Nepal has to be completely different. It can't be equated to what's happening in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is something you can control because Bangladesh, they're all around you. Nepal is Myanmar is someplace you have leeway. You have to take initiative. They are receptive to that initiative if we prepare to take it. Okay. But here, there are too many issues involved. And that is because they're sitting over our, I keep saying, heartland. Gangetic plain is our heartland. We can't allow this to happen. Well, I can only talk like this. What the government does, it's up to it. I'm sure the government will do what it has to do. On that, I have no doubts. But, well, that's it. Okay. Thanks a lot. This is all I have about Nepal. We'll see how it goes along. Join me in the evening because yesterday there was a virtual BRICS meeting, developments in USA, other things which I spoke about the border, all that. And I'm going to talk today evening. What is more important to India? Is that honor, territorial integrity and sovereignty, or development? And development at what cost? I'm going to talk of this. And we'll talk because Certain things have happened in the BRICS virtual meet, and certain developments have happened in USA also. We will talk of that. Join me in the evening at 8 o'clock. But leave that out as it may. I took out a video on theaterization. And if, it's called Kargil to Op Sindur. What if India had theaterized? I did this with uh, Sandeep Punithan. I took that out today morning. Go to Ghana Shot. Have a look at that video. Some of you have looked at it. I'd request all of you to look at it. What if India had theatre commands in Kargil? What if India had theatre commands during the Balakot strikes? What if India had theatre commands during Op Sindur? Would the outcomes have been different? Right? I mean, one has to be introspective. All three were victories for India. Militarily, there's no doubt. But could these victories have been better? And, a bit of a controversial takes I've done, but I've done it for the interest of the nation. Have a look at it. Okay? And spread it to your friends. Right. With this, I'll take on questions now. And I'll take a few questions and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, most of us are still in shock as you present the facts through your video. Greatly appreciated, sir. But bear it with us when we raise questions of topic which you may have talked about few days ago. I go with you. I have no problem. Look, Garvesh, thanks a lot first. Yeah, 1 minute. Garvesh, thanks a lot for your contribution and your view. Let me also explain. I can make out the difference between a motivated question and an honest question. Give me that knowledge and ability to see through many of your people who come on my show. I'm not a spring chicken. Okay. I've spent 70 years in life dealing with many things. And that is why I've had the guts to come and speak in front of you the way I speak. I've dealt with the common people of India as well as the ministers, the highest ministers in India. I know what I'm talking. And I can make out. I've dealt with ideologies. I know what each ideology, each fellow who talks here represents. It's not lost on me. Okay. But I steer clear of all of them because I look at India. And I can make out from your thing, you cannot, many of you will not be able to connect many of these issues. I understand. That is why I talk. I talk very freely on these issues. So that all of us as Indians are on the right track, understand what is good for India. And not for anyone else. And our friends. Nepal government might not be our friend today. It's a communist government. It's a Chinese government. It's a government propped up by China. But the people of Nepal are our friends. At one point of time, it was called a Hindu kingdom, the only kingdom in the world. We, as a majority Hindu state, have to respect that country and people. It's only now it's a republic. Okay, so we have to be, clear what we are dealing with, whom we are dealing with. That's why I thought. But thanks a lot. Hami Nepal is funding by Daraz, a Pakistani country. Yeah, I go with you. There are wheels within wheels in this whole story. I have no doubt whatever you say. Well, I just saw that and I picked it up. The layers will come out, but all layers, everything points to China. Okay? Yeah. Hans, good morning. Ramki, good morning. Yeah, Pixie Fly, good morning. Ladybird Haru, good morning. Turmoil in Indonesia, can you tell us why? Yeah, I can. Let me go over it separately then. I'll not mix it. There, the reasons are different. Okay, the reasons there are completely different. Nepal on fire, and here Rahul Vinci's mom is writing an opus. Again, please don't talk like this. I don't like this, Avi, saying that Rahul Vinci. See, you're a motivated guy who's against Mr. Rahul Gandhi. They've expressed a view. This is a democracy. This is not an autocracy. People should know. I'm not supporting them. I support my government for that project. But people will express. Yesterday, when I said, yeah, that this communist chap is being heated and his what he's saying is being projected in our media. Who's the communist guy? The communist ambassador to India, the Chinese ambassador to India has been given a platform to speak in public. And then when I put out a tweet, people say, oh, no, today China is our friends. What nonsense. If you can tolerate this fellow, you can tolerate an alternate voice within India. And that man, Rahul Gandhi, is your leader of opposition. Please respect him. Just because you have a view against him, you don't have to call him names. There is, I disagree with what that lady, she's also an MP, she's put up in her article. Because there's no ecology in that island. I've been to that island. You don't even find wildlife there. There are hardly 200, 300 people living there. I know that. These are politics. So you shouldn't denigrate people because of that. These are our politics. Okay, Sonia living up to MOU of 2008. Fine. That's our ideology. You can go against that. I don't agree with that. But these people represent an alternate. If these people didn't exist, ours wouldn't be a democracy. We would also be something like a communist party or Trump. Would you like to be like Trump's America, where complete opposition is muzzled? We won't. So let's listen to that opposition. You might disagree with it. Yeah, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you. Could it be CIA or Chinese? I've said this already, Pramod. Okay. I am from Nepal and watch most of your videos. India assisting to remove Hindu kingdom has made more uncertainty and right communists. I agree with you, Santosh. I agree with you that India has faltered at some point of time. In fact, we made a ghastly mistake by allowing this happening. We should have never removed the monarchy. We should have ensured that the monarchy stayed. But I don't know how we have to redo the whole thing. Yeah, it needs a complete overhaul. I am with you. Like Maro watching Wale. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Looks like Nepal is pulling away. It won't. Don't worry. This is the opportunity, like I said, it's going to come back. Seems like communism won't last long in Nepal. Might not. It might last. It's not gone away anywhere. Good morning, and yeah, thanks a lot, Kiran. Right? Is UPI system available in Nepal? I don't think so. I'm not sure, Ravi. I'll check and get back to you. I'm not sure. But I think a lot of people use it because of wherever our mobile system reaches out. Yeah, Neil says, Jai Hind, thanks a lot. Only Sharma is a stooge of the Chinese Communist Party. I agree with you. Yeah, Chinese sponsorship in their product, 100% showbiz and zero reliability. Yeah, I agree with you. Hari Iyer, thanks a lot. Why do we see several color revolution triggered by court decisions? See, Manipur again is a self-inflicted injury. This is not a color revolution, and I've spoken about this 2 years back when it happened because this is a political problem. This is a political problem of the ruling party in Manipur, and an extension, the ruling party in India. This is a self-inflicted injury. I said this then. I said this in Jaipur dialogues. I said this on my own. Okay, I've said it in whichever platform I went. Ultimately, first day I said, dismiss that government and get governors rule it. You'll see Manipur cooling down, and that's what has happened. Unfortunately, we had to wait 2 years. In the time that Aramboy Tengol and Methi Lipun, gained great proportions. Now they're being cut to size. Okay. Quite possible PRC wants to take over Nepal. I don't think that they can do. It's not so easy. How will Nepali politics be affected by recent developments in India-China relations? Can a new detent between India and China benefit Nepal? It won't. You're seeing the results already. Dirty, deep, dark China, I agree with you. Should we do something more to integrate Nepal with India? Yes, there's no doubt. What happened to SARC? SARC won't function because Pakistan is an important member of the SARC, and that's not going to, come towards us. It will be completely against us. So why have it? Leave it. We should support the king. The people are behind him. I don't think so. Again, Rishiraj, if you know Nepal the way it is, not many people are with the king. Neither is that king in a position, is politically strong to stage a comeback. Unless Nepalese leadership request our help and willing to integrate with India, we keep our hands out and do what's necessary. Covertly, quite a good thing. Logged in late. Oh, that's okay. Have a look at it later. How can India allow so much influence of Nepal into China? Well, we muffed it long back. Let's be very clear. We muffed it long back and we've compounded it by this Agniveer scheme. This Agniveer scheme is going to cost us hell of a lot in the long run. That we still have this chance to recover. Okay, till that Agniveer scheme is, or amend the Agniveer scheme to get people from Nepal into our army. That link, umbilical, then becomes an umbilical link between India and Nepal, which cannot be taken out. We've broken that. That's a problem. Is this not like Bangladeshis protest? No. US have a hand in it? No. It's China. I've explained to you. Yeah, we'll talk of Navarro in the evening. Yeah. The way things are happening, it's all set for 2032. India will have to fight like Abhimanyu. Let's see what happens. Yeah. We should deepen our cultural ties with Nepal. I agree with you. China has invested heavily in tourism. We should develop pilgrimages. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, media channels. Nepal situation is being blamed for Congress government of Rajiv Gandhi to influence Nepal to become democracy and adopt secularism instead of Hindu country. Is it true? These are debates which can go on. And most of these who are propagating this are the right-wing people in our country. or people who are completely against the Gandhi family. We don't need that Gandhi family anymore. Let me be very honest. I'm against that hierarchy. But the narrative to frame everything which is happening in Nepal to that family or that era is also wrong. Look at our own. What's happening? Why did you cut off the Agniveer scheme? Why did you cut off the Nepalese from our? I mean, you have to understand that till such time these boys from the Gurkha regiments go back home as pensioners, they're dependent on India, get their money from India, get their pension from India. You have contact of not only the number of people who are going back, but multiplied by their family who are dependent on India. They are your listening posts in the countryside. You have a chance to control the countryside tomorrow. You lost that. Why are you blaming everything on Rajiv Gandhi, what he did? Do what you are supposed to do today. Nepal is a product of never being conquered by East India Trading Company. To a certain extent, yes, but they had a treaty with them. Yeah. Mm. Our government should have a tourism, hydro, and industry package ready for the government in Nepal. This is a theoretical thing which we have never done. Okay. Whatever you blame China for, the US does 100 times. Great. I'm glad you realized it. But the US doesn't come and sit in Naksachin. It's the Chinese. Obviously, you have problems with USA. Even I have problems with USA. Okay. I have severe problems with the USA. But we have not fought wars with China, USA. We fought wars with China in 62. Not only 62, 67, 87, 2020, 2022. To me, the bigger problem is China, not USA. If you don't understand this, then you're thinking wrong. All the best then. China may fuel the narrative that India was involved. Yeah, they could. They will. Yeah. Morning. How are you? Yeah, it was an informative video. Thanks a lot. The video with Chaka Sandeep Punithan was very insightful. Yeah, have a look at it. Did Indian foreign policy fail in our neighborhood, especially in Nepal? I think so. We've not done well. Let me be very honest. We should understand what's happening. This is a country which you can completely, you know, have we have an open border with them. It can completely be an extension of India, but we have not been able to make it. It's not now. It's not just this government. This government, previous government, everything over the past 30 years. Thank you, sir. We are blessed to have you. So patriotic. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Ram Bhupal Reddy. Thanks a lot. Even India media says it's a Gen Z revolt against social media ban. Well, I don't blame media. Media within 24 hours, young reporters, what will they say? They'll say this only. Both China border issues, videos are outstanding. Thanks, yeah, but the fact is, not many people are seeing it. That's the funny part. That's our bread and butter. That's the fundamentals of our problems with China. That no one wants to see. Everyone wants to see what is the trade deal you want to do with China. That's pretty funny. Ponder why they have preferred to align with China instead. it happened, you go back in history, this happened after 62. Till 62, they were completely aligned with India. It is in 62 that they realized that India is not as strong as it was they thought it was. If India can't defend itself, how can it defend Nepal? That was a question which came to King Mahendra at that time. And that's when he started, getting the Chinese in. And over periods of time, we had their own problems, we had our own issues. It's only now we're getting stronger, but in between, we are somewhere between 90 to 99. We were a very weak nation, let's be very clear. We were a very weak nation politically and economically. As a result, geopolitically, we were weak. We couldn't take a stand. We allowed the stupid Pakistan to dictate terms. If the Pakistani buffoons could come to our parliament and do what they did, what did we do about it? We didn't have the guts to repeat it back to them. If we had sorted out Pakistanis 10, 30 years back, we would have been different. Sir, it was an excellent, timely session. You have backed up your views on China with details. From this position, India can use its Hindu leverage to play against Chinese cards instead. I hope so. I hope so. If this government is overthrown, then surely it's not in the interest of China. Yeah, that can't be stopped. The people won't let this government survive. That's my view. But let's see how it goes. All these agitations and unrest around India will spill over and create troubles for India's growth. I'm sure it will, and I'm sure India is aware of this. Do you feel there are communities who cannot be ruled by democracy, need some kind of autocracy or dictatorship? Even sometimes I feel Indians love feudal system, worshipping leaders. No, I don't think so. I don't think monoethnic or monoethnic communities, both ethnic and ethic communities, or mono-iconoclastic communities can do with dictatorships because they have a similar thinking, culture, heritage, and all. But ours is not. Ours is multicultural, diversified. So we need democracy. It's tragic that a Nepalese community leader like Baburam Bhattarai is a PhD from JNU is full of communists. If you go there, half half of our Communist Party of India is from JNU. Okay, will monarchy regain again in Nepal? No, I don't think so. Yeah, sir, you are the best sinologist. You have predicted earlier, in fact, explained stage by stage CCP games. Thanks a ton. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Malika. Okay, 1 minute. I'll just. Rama. Excellent. Congratulations. Send me a thing. I'll just give you a call back. Okay. Okay. Damn good. Congratulations. Send me the clip. Okay. Yeah. That was, a call from a field firing range of some success in actual firing of a 155 gun with some special ammunition. I was getting a report. Okay, so I'm not talking of Nepal. I'm also controlling some high-end technology coming into India. That's it. Okay, let's see. What do you think that our security leadership have been so obsessed with Pakistan they neglect next of things around us? That's a problem. That's been the largest problem for most of us. We didn't have never developed the in-depth idea about what China is. Is the army the only way to make or break relationship with Nepal? What about other modes of investment there, IT? Fundamental of people you have to understand, Lata. The fundamental connect, if you kill, the rest will all wither away. I told you, let me tell you, uh, there are about 6 Nepali boys in my vicinity. Because I speak Hindi, they come and work for me and I pay them. Of course, I pay them, right? And they're happy with me and they seek jobs with me. If one chap goes out, the other chap, automatically someone else is replaced. I see that happening. Some guy comes and cleans my car up. Someone comes and puts water in my thing. If whether I employ one guy or 6 guys, the net total I pay is the same. I don't deprive them of their money. But I see that there's a lot of people who are dependent on us. But these are people who are floating. They're not sure. They don't have a long-term connect. Okay. In fact, one of the kids of one of those boys who's working with me, I give money for their education. You people are paying for it. I'm being very honest. What you people give, one of the girls who educate, from your memberships, which I get, is a Nepali boy's girl. Because she's not a citizen of India. She goes back home, she'll not get education. So I'm educating her. What she becomes, I don't know. At least education she'll have. Good education opportunity she'll get. But that's a different story. So this is not, structured linkages. You need structured linkages through the army. Where a PPO, a pension paying officer, goes every month and gives money to the pensioners and gets inside view about what's happening in China. You don't understand it. Maybe one day I'll explain this. Nepal is not an extension of India. I don't agree with this that UPA did. It's a long-term thing. Okay. Path can be made of anything, but it has to be the longest, so more tall boats. That's okay. Nepalese brothers and sisters, that's the operative word in what Ahir Rao said. Okay, so thanks a lot. We've gone through the whole thing. Get back in the evening. We'll talk about more things. Okay, and we'll talk about whether we want development or we want hope, territorial integrity, sovereignty, and Izzat. And at what cost? Development at what cost? So we'll talk of that in the evening. Till then, have a great day and thanks for joining in. Right? And morning and Jai Hind.